I am so sick of the freezing cold weather. I mean, my opinion is if it's gonna be cold, it better snow. Because there's nothing worse than it just being freezing cold, no snow on the ground. And that's what it's like right now, so I'm ready to be done with that. 80 days out, scale read 229.4 this morning. So, almost 121 pounds down. I think my favorite and least favorite part about bodybuilding is how freaking long it takes. There is nobody in the entire world that can go from a nobody to stepping on stage competitively in a matter of months, right? Everything takes, we're talking years and years. And so sometimes that discourages me. I mean, looking at it where, my goal is to get an IFBB Pro card. And so I'm looking at that as a 3-year goal, not necessarily a goal that I can accomplish in a short amount of time. But that's okay. That's why it's so rewarding for a lot of people. That's why you see these massive dudes up there on stage crying, is because the massive amount of work that it takes to reach a point where you're even competitive. Not even talking about reaching the point where you're a professional, you're an IFBB Pro. That'll come. And a lot of what people don't understand is bodybuilding is a lot of genetics. There's a lot of things that, you could be the most jacked guy in the world, but if you don't have wide clavicles, if you don't have a narrow waist, if, things like that, they can keep you from being a good professional bodybuilder. Fortunately, now we'll validate this in my show in 80 days, but fortunately I think I've got a pretty darn good bodybuilding structure. I've always been told since I was a kid, you carry your weight well. I remember every single year growing up playing football, you'd have your X-Men, which they'd set a certain weight limit, and if the kids were over that weight limit, they weren't allowed to run the ball. Now, it was always a big deal for me to try to get under the X-Man limit. Hindsight, I don't know why. I ran the ball once in my football career, and I remember I got the ball, closed my eyes, ran into the offensive lineman, and then fell to the ground. It was a pretty pathetic rushing attempt, but I always wanted to be under that X-Men limit. Now, I was never really the tallest kid for my age. I kind of grew late. I really got my height my senior year of high school, and I even grew a little bit after high school. But was always trying to get under that X-Men limit, and I never looked big. I was taller for my age, but it's not like I was super fat growing up. But I always fought to keep under that X-Man limit. And so everyone told me, you carry your weight well, you are a dense kid. And I think that was a good thing. I think I just naturally carry muscle well. I have a frame that carries weight well, which bodes well for bodybuilding. So, again, I could be putting the cart before the horse here, and I could do my show in April, and they'd be like, yeah, you've got this wrong with your frame, this wrong with your frame. I don't anticipate that being the case, but you never know. There were a lot of people whose dream it was to become a bodybuilder, and they stepped on stage and realized that they have some genetic flaws that'll prevent them from doing that. So really, bodybuilding is so much more than just whoever can work their ass off the hardest, whoever can stick to their nutrition the best. It's so much more than that. I mean, when we're talking Olympia level guys, it's not only, you know, every one of them is jacked. Every one of them is sticking to their diet 100%. Every single one of them is working out exactly how they need to. But there's also other factors at the highest level, right? How do their bodies respond to steroids? That's a big factor because people respond differently, and almost everybody, I mean, everybody at the Olympia level is doing something. That's a known fact. Regionally, not so much, but you get up into that level, everybody's doing steroids. So it's how does your body respond to that? How does your frame carry muscle? How can you fill out the frame? And especially with the classic guys, because there's a cap on how much you can weigh. And so you can't go over that weight limit, so you have to be selective about where you want to add muscle and how you want it to look. So there's a lot more to bodybuilding than people think. It's not just, can I work harder than the other guy? There's a billion other factors at play here too. So, long tangent to start off the morning, but we have chest, shoulders, and triceps today. I was feeling pretty beat up last night. I can't remember the last time. I'm not really a napper. I don't really take naps. I don't fall asleep on the couch. I'm not really that type of person, but I was hanging out with my son watching a show on the couch and found myself dozing off. So I think, you know, this is starting to take a little bit of a toll on me, but to be expected. I think it's more of a mental toll. I mean, it's definitely a physical toll, but I expected that part. But the mental side of it, of, you know, getting up at 5:45 every single morning, heading to the gym, filming myself while I'm at the gym, going into work, taking care of my job there, you know, going home, making these YouTube videos. It's a little mentally exhausting, but that's all right. We push through. So, just pulling up to the gym, trying to find a parking spot here. Again, chest, shoulders, and tries. So, we will get in there and hammer it out. All right. Starting off with a little flat bench here. Oh, a little nervous to see where my strength is at today, if I'm being honest. Been pretty aggressive on the cut recently, so we'll see if we work up to 315 today or not. I don't know if I'll have much to say today, to be quite honest. Not feeling very talkative, but we'll see once that pre really kicks in. Let's see how 225's moving today. All right. I think another thing I need to add to my gym bag is some clips. They used to have a decent amount, but I have no idea where they all went. I need to start bringing my own, because it makes me a little nervous doing this weight with no clips on. Honestly, I'm just really nervous to try this weight in general today. But hey, if I'm in the 220s and I'm still repping 315, we're in a good spot. So I think I'll be happy with 2 here. I have no idea what to expect. I might be getting a video here of me needing somebody to come over and help me get this off my chest, but we'll see. I really hope that's not the case today. So let's get a good song going, and then we will see what we can do here. If the weight doesn't scare you, it's not heavy enough. Whew. All right, JJ. Oh, let's get it. Oh, I am happy with that. I'm happy. 3 reps is good. Very good. Took a little bit longer of a rest here, but we'll get into set number 2. We're not going to do a lot of sets here. This is mainly just measuring my strength, seeing where it's at. It's pretty good. I mean, I may feel exhausted today, but my strength is holding pretty good, which I'm happy about now. It's not moving as quickly as it previously has, but 3 reps, I'm happy with it. All right, let's hope we can match that. Come on. Come on. Come on. What's up, bro?
Doing curls?
What's that?
Is that doing curls?
Yeah. Ben, right?
Yeah.
Good to see you, bro.
Get the wax?
No, that's a good reminder. I'm gonna get it. You're gonna see me all twisted up tomorrow.
It's so soft.
Good to see you, bro. Moving down to 225 for this last set. Just gonna pump some out, then move on to some incline. Wow, that was embarrassing. On to some incline. Not gonna go super heavy weight on these. I'm just trying to get that deep stretch. Chest filled with some blood, so we did our heavy weight earlier to start off. Keep it a little lighter. Good form, good stretch. Whew. Chest is pretty cooked. Let's go. Wow. Wow, that's feeling a little heavy. I think we're gonna go down to 135 and then pump them out. Yeah. Speed of last set, doing a little 135. Oh, all right. We'll move on from chest. It's pumped. All right. We got the good machine. This one's my favorite. Just when I wish it went a little bit heavier. Ooh. We'll do these semi-quick. I think we're gonna do 2 more sets of these ones. All right. This will be our last set here. Then I think hopefully we can do some dumbbell shoulder press. We'll see what's available. All right. And do some dumbbell shoulder press here. Again, since I'm deep in the cut, the muscle I have is already built. The main focus is a little bit lighter, prevent injuries, and keep the muscle I've already been able to build. So we're going a little bit lighter on shoulder press here than usual, but we're gonna get some high reps, get the blood moving in those front delts. If you're someone who struggles to stick to a diet, here's why. A lot of people, when they start out a diet, they start off really strong, really motivated. I'm never going to cheat on my diet until I lose 20, 30, 40, whatever that goal may be. Now, the problem is we're human. And so we're going to have nights that we don't plan on. You're going to have a night where you go out to eat and you eat something not a part of your plan. And the next morning, because you'd been so strict, all that water weight gets pulled into your muscles via glycogen. So you put on the next day 3, 4, 5, 6, even 7 pounds, and you think all hope is lost, so you jump back off the diet. Now what you need to remember is 1 pound of fat equals 3,500 calories. And so unless you're in a 3,500 calorie surplus, you're not even gonna put on a pound. Plan those cheat meals. Track them. Even if they're high calorie, if you track them, and then the next day you just go back to right what you were doing, you will lose weight. Just make sure you are tracking everything. Let's get into the second set. Pump them out. Oh. Here are the only 3 exercises you need to build your shoulders. First, some form of shoulder press. That could be dumbbell, barbell, machine. You need 1 form of shoulder press, 1 form of raises. That can be dumbbell lateral raises, that can be cable raises, whatever you want. You need 1 shoulder press, 1 shoulder raise, and then for the rear delts, you can do leaning forward, you can do rear delt flies on the pec deck. But if you have a shoulder press movement, a lateral raise movement, and then a rear delt movement, those are the only 3 things you need to build bigger shoulders. All right, JJ, you can clip it here. Last set of these ones, then we'll go on to something else. On to the next. All right. We're gonna do some cable tricep extensions. Best way to do these, with the cable hip height so you don't have to drag it up all the way from the ground. Step forward, bring it up above your head, and keep those elbows tucked. Set number 2 of these. This will be our last set of these, but we're gonna do a drop set on this last one here. So whoa. All right, on to yeah, we're gonna finish up our chest here with some chest flies. Let's get into the second set here. Oh man, cooked. Chest is getting pretty fried, so we'll do one more here. Oh man. All right, that's good on those ones. If you're having a hard time feeling the stretch on your shoulder raises, try these. Cable, wrist height, go behind the back, hold here for stability, and then come up. Keep doing these ones pretty quickly. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna move on to some single tricep push down. We're gonna pump these ones out pretty quick as well. And then we'll finish probably with some dumbbell flies and call it a day. Ugh. All right, we're going fast on these ones. Last set of these ones. Oh, moving on. All right. Last exercise here. We are going to blast the shoulders to finish up here. Let's do it. Oh. Let's get after the second side. Oh, those are getting pumped. Whew. I think we're doing 4 here, so 3 out of 4. Let's get it done. Last set of these ones. I'm cooked. Had a good workout today, so let's finish strong. Okay. I am done. Well, off to work. See you guys tomorrow.